The 2002 Mr. Olympia event provided some excellent one-on-one matchups, and I most recently did a comparison between Flex Wheeler and none other than Lee Priest, Lee placing ahead of Flex Wheeler. But as I was looking at the score sheet or the placings, I noticed Marcus Rule. He placed underneath of Flex Wheeler. So I thought I should do a little comparison, and I might as well have did a three-way matchup between the Lee Priest thrown in. But, well, I guess I'll do that next time. In a three-way matchup, perhaps, for a Mr. Olympia comparison. But anyway, today we have Marcus Rule and Flex Wheeler. And unfortunately, this is the only front-relaxed comparison we have. It is a somewhat of an apples versus oranges, mass monster versus aesthetics. Let's go into the muscularity round, beginning with the front double bicep pose, of course. And also, there's a little tidbit in this one. I've got a lot of comments. And Flex Wheeler claimed to be natural at this event. Either way, ladies and gentlemen, I am not here to argue the fact or the point that he claimed to be natural. I guess it is a fact that he claimed to be natural. I'm not saying it's a fact that he is. Those arms definitely have something in there, and if he does have sight enhancement oil, that's not natural. That's not natural at all. Either way, guys, this is a tough one to judge. I definitely like those bicep peaks of Marcus Rule. Look at the size of those big babies. Huge, huge. But Flex Wheeler, as always, he just plain looks good. He looks very good. Slightly inconclusive, I guess, in the front double bi. Personally, I would give it to Marcus, but I don't know, though. I really don't know. Flex does look good. Front lat spread. This is a Flex Wheeler pose. No doubt. Marcus Rule, he's just massive. He's huge. It looks like he's snapping a most muscular pose, but it is a front lat spread. A little bit of a stomach distension there. Flex Wheeler, he's pulling it off this year. It's probably one of his worst years, but it's not too bad. Not too bad in this pose. Go to the side, and it is hard to say. I figured I would throw this one in here because it is one of the few pictures that they are actually on stage together. Not a good angle at all for Marcus Rule. Does show his calf there pretty good. Nice set of calves on Marcus. He had a few of the little goodies most of the mass monsters didn't have. Let's have another comparison here, and wow, yes, look at the size of that pec on Marcus Rule, and look at the arm on Flex Wheeler. If you think that's a natural arm, well, I don't know. Genetics are a magical thing, so hey, I don't know. Maybe he is. So wouldn't I sound foolish if Flex Wheeler's sitting there at home knowing for the fact that he was natural, and me calling him a liar? Anyway, guys, if you don't know, don't say. Doesn't look natural, but anyway. Either way, Marcus Rule, he might be natural too. Look at the size of that pack, like I said. He is getting a point, is Marcus Rule, in the side chest. Unfortunately, there is no side tricep comparison, but we're safe to assume Wheeler's was probably enough to defeat Marcus Rule, but it is very foolhardy to think for sure that it would be a point for Flex Wheeler, so it'll be slightly inconclusive at the end of the day. Turn around and advantage Marcus Rule. Wow, look at the back on him. Now, I don't know. I think I might disagree with the judges on this one, guys. The conditioning of Marcus Rule, a little bit soft for sure, but you look over at Flex Wheeler, basically the same type of conditioning. Basically the same, exactly the same. But that width, the muscle on Marcus Rule, clearly the better man. This is a different version of Marcus Rule, and it's not even as good. I tried to find a suitable version for this, but really the only other one was the 2002 Night of Champions, and you guys would have called me a cheater for using that version. And that version was destroying Flex Wheeler in this pose, and this is a better shot for Flex Wheeler than the rear lat spread. But using this comparison, it's not fair. It's basically like giving Flex Wheeler a point in the side tricep, so I guess them two can cancel each other out. In the ab and thigh shot, this is most certainly was, and always will be a Flex Wheeler shot when it comes to these two. Definitely not the best shot for big Marcus Rule. I've seen him hit a better one. He goes to the side like here, but it's still. I like when they hit it to spec, and Definitely that version, the original version, nowhere near as good as Flex Wheeler. Flex with that quad feathering till Tuesday even. Alright guys, the final pose, most muscular, and unfortunately, once again, had to use a different version of Marcus Rule. I believe this is the 05 Olympia? I am not exactly sure. Either way, it's basically the same version. He was pretty consistent. When he was on, he was on. When he was off, he was, let's face it, he was a little soft when he was off. Flex Wheeler, very, very narrow here in comparison to other years. His arms are still huge, which leads me to believe if he was natural, he definitely was pumping those arms full of something. Some flex, some pose and pump, whatever you would like to call it. This contest is a very close one indeed, and could honestly go either way. I'd have no problem with somebody saying Marcus should have placed ahead of Flex Wheeler, and I'd have no problem vice versa the other way. And that is the way that I am leaning, ladies and gentlemen. Flex Wheeler, this time I do agree with the judges. Like I say, 9 times out of 10, I do agree with them. And I do agree with the placings this time. I watched the posing routines, and Marcus, he did have an awesome posing routine. He had the German music, couldn't understand what they were saying. Das Rock, jug, jug, jug. And he was just flexing, massive, awesome. I loved it for a mass monster. But then Flex Wheeler, he had a very unique posing routine, and I've thoroughly enjoyed it. And he did the splits, of course. He's flexible, that's where he gets the name, Flex Wheeler. And that was just the notch that put him over the top with me. So he gets the win in this comparison, guys. I agree with the judges. 2002 Mr. Olympia event. Hope you guys enjoyed this one. Hit thumbs up if you did. Subscribe to the channel. Have a great day.